So I normally do all my work inside. It's a 4-car garage here, inside that one, but or that side. But it's been converted to like a woodworking shop, so I can't do anything in there. I have to do everything outside. And as we all know, raw steel and water do not mix, since the oxygen in the water wants to convert the steel back to its original form, which is iron oxide, or basically red dirt, which is probably 20% of what this truck is. So I had to create something real quick to kind of cover the work area up. So I put together with some PVC tubing and some ladders and an old tarp, kind of a covered work area. So at least now it's pretty much out of the rain, and I don't have to worry about, you know, getting poured on while I'm doing the metal work on the car. And I secured it with zip ties as well as some bungees, and then over here I just screwed it into the, I don't know what you call this thing, this lattice for tomatoes and things. But I covered it up, and I'm about to run to Harbor Freight. Gotta pick up some stuff, and also head over to Lowe's and pick up some sheet metal so I can start welding in and making some patch panels for the truck. But first things first, gotta start seeing what I'm working with. You know, I don't know exactly how much metal I'm gonna need to buy, and you know, I gotta see how much of this car is actually, or this truck's actually Bondo, because I was messing around over here and there was you can see the previous owner didn't do any metal work, so instead he plugged stuff with, you know, some Bondo, and then moisture still kept pouring in there, and then you end up having more rust. So don't do that. It's, you know, all you're doing is cosmetically hiding the problem, and then you end up with a bigger problem when it comes to rusting from the inside out, because you were too lazy to weld in actual metal, or you didn't feel it was necessary. So yeah, I'm gonna have to bang out all this rust. This particular fender is pretty shot. I see that he did some work here, and then it looks like there's fiberglass as well on the inside. So I'm gonna bang out everything and then start from scratch, basically. So I'm debating whether I should go to pick up the metal now, or rather work on this. And I'm still waiting. I gotta order the fast etch. So I'm thinking about just banging all this out, you know. And I mean, it's already rusted, so it doesn't really matter. It's not like I'm gonna have to worry about more rusting. I just have to bang everything out, remove all the trim pieces, and make sure there's no rust forming in the doors and stuff, because this would be a pain in the butt. Get rid of this piece, and then start working on the rocker panel. So that's that. The Zombie Hunter, hopefully within the next 2 weeks, will look like a completely different vehicle. You know, I kind of like the the rusty kind of beat up look of it, but it'll look a lot nicer, and my wife will actually want to ride in it once it looks semi-decent. So that's all for right now. So this is taking a lot longer than it should. Looks like at some point they changed the screws. Whoever put this on, you know, they're using all these different kinds of screws. You know, one's a Phillips head, this one's a flat head, that one's a Phillips head. They're all rusted. I'm gonna replace them all with stainless steel, because this one doesn't even fit. It's completely rusted inside there. You know, the head on these ones is too big, so it's actually stuck. And then another design flaw that I found while working on G-wagons in general, at least the 460 models, is that this trim, it's got like this little thin metal strip inside it. What happens is, if this has any little holes in it, the rubber, then that strip rusts, and then it ends up rusting through, and then rusting into your body panels. So I was just banging on these pieces. There was some Bondo here, you could see, and all this. And the next thing I know is I hear water. And look at all this water. So this water was sitting somewhere in the sheet metal, you know, and just sitting there rusting from the inside. So I got to find out where exactly this water's coming from, because I mean it was just pouring out, you know. At first I was worried that I, you know, banged something loose, you know, like a radiator hose or something. But this is actually just sitting water inside the body panel, which is kind of weird because the panel itself isn't anything. Oh, you know what it might be from? No, I don't really know where it's coming from. You know, maybe the headlights? I don't know, we'll see. I think I'm gonna have to take this entire fender off, which is, yeah, I'll probably end up taking the entire fender off, and then I don't know, maybe I could take this one to get sandblasted, or I'll just, you know, do a little bit of extra care trying to restore it, because like I said, these are actually extremely expensive, and I don't want to spend any money on this truck. But wow, that was scary. And it's also scary to think about like what's actually inside this, how waterlogged this truck actually is. We'll find out. Alright, so I ended up heading to Lowe's. Here's the 2003, so the newer model that I have. And this is the daily driver, so it's a little bit different. It's got a all leather interior. You know, it still has the 3 locking differentials and has a bigger motor, and basically it's still an off-roader. Just you just do it a little bit more comfortably in this one. But so I'm gonna go into Lowe's right now, pick up some sheet metal, and then head over to Harbor Freight and pick up, you know, a brake so I could bend it and stuff. So see you in a bit. So I ended up getting 2 panels, sheet metal panels. It's only 22 gauge, which is kind of thin, but I mean, it's good enough to make my patches, I guess. Better than nothing, and it was only 60 bucks, so it was pretty convenient and close by and inexpensive. I'm sure if I went to like a metal shop, could have got it for cheaper, but this was a lot closer to my house, and you know, in and out.